Canada is in the midst of an election within the Liberal Party to elect Canada's 24th Prime Minister, and a question that many candidates have been faced with is whether Parliament would return if they became Prime Minister. But why would they ask these candidates this question? Why would they not want Parliament to come back? Let's talk about why Canada is likely headed for an election very quickly after the Liberal leadership race. Here's the current situation in Canada now. The Canadian Parliament is currently prorogued, or not in session, after Trudeau announced his resignation as Prime Minister at the beginning of January.
She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th.
He did this because the NDP had announced that they now plan to vote the government down in the confidence vote, which would force Canada into an election, which the Liberals don't want to happen while they don't have a leader or were heavily down in the polls. Parliament is scheduled to come back by March 24th, on which there's supposed to be a throne speech, which would be followed by a confidence vote within a few days. But at any time, prorogation can end if A, the government decides to recall Parliament, or B, the Prime Minister advises the Governor-General to call an election. Mark Carney, the frontrunner for the Liberal leadership, explicitly said that a snap election is on the table if he felt like it was the best step.
And do what is best for Canadians, and the government will do what's best for Canadians. If Parliament needs to be recalled for certain reasons, it will be. If it makes sense to get a strong mandate at that point, that is what will follow.
Chrystia Freeland said that she would be open to a snap election, but it wouldn't be her first priority or something she would rush to do. Karina Gold, on the other hand, seemed much more willing to try and make the Parliament last until October, the scheduled election date. So why would Mark Carney be the most willing to have an election? Well, in his case, he doesn't have a seat in the House of Commons. So if he had to fight a confidence vote, he would basically be doing so from the hallways of the West Block, and would be unable to argue for the government in the House of Commons himself. So it might just be easier to call an election right away and try and get a seat in the House of Commons, especially when you couple in the next few factors. One of these factors is the expected direction of the polls. The Liberals will likely experience a modest bump in the polls when the new Prime Minister takes office. This is just a honeymoon effect that we can expect whenever there's excitement and something new happening, as we have seen many times in the past. And the fact is, the bump that's currently going on likely won't last forever. Calling an election right away gives the opposition parties less time to fight this honeymoon bump and get the polls back to where they want them. So basically, the Liberals want to have a quick election because that might be their best chance to have a shot at winning the election. From there, there's also the money issue. The Conservatives have a truly unprecedented amount of money on hand for a Canadian political party, with them raising $41 million in 2024, compared to the Liberals raising $15 million. While running a leadership race does bring in some donations, it also costs money to run such an event. But the thing is, the Conservative Party currently has no limits as to how much money they can spend. So theoretically, Carney could become Prime Minister in early March, and Poilievre just uses this war chest to rip Carney to shreds with advertisements using said money. While money isn't everything, it sure helps a party in getting their message out. But the thing is, in an election campaign, there are laws to dictate how much money a party is allowed to spend. So Carney could call an election to deny the Conservatives the ability to spend all their cash through ads, or to use any of it before the campaign. But what do you think? Do you think Canada's in for a snap election? Should we have a snap election? Let me know in your comments down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as that helps me out a lot. But apart from that, have a good rest of your day, and see you.